randomly use the betting tools. I kind of try and sift through some of the betting tools each day. And this is, show you guys how to use these to maybe put yourself on some winners, which is what we're all trying to do. Or, of course, get you guys on the way to using the betting tools for yourself. I know there's a lot of information out there, so much that it's almost impossible to put your arms around all of it. So, I think that on this show, maybe if I unlock a few of these things that are out there, because we have so much more stuff on the way with these betting tools that, you can't help but get kind of lost in them. It's like even I get lost in them, and that's how you know. But I'm excited about it, and excited about everything, and I'm most excited about how well the betting tools are being received. And I think that to me is the coolest thing, is that, a lot of people are using the betting tools, and even the people that hate me, even my haters are using the betting tools. They're like using the betting tools against me. It's like, you suck. You suck. The betting tool said, take this. It's like, if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes, man. I don't care. I just want you guys to win. And really that to me is what it's all about. It's funny. Joe and I were talking about our Pick Dogs community, and, we were talking about one of our competitors, and, which we do from time to time. And I'm like, why do these guys have so much of a better impression than I do? And Joe's like, because they pump each other up. They all pump each other up. The cappers there all pump each other up on social media, even though their site doesn't get much traffic. Their YouTube gets, 1/6 to 1/7 of the traffic that we get. And it's just like, she's like, but on Twitter and social media, they just pump each other up. They act like they're friends, even though they're not, and all this other stuff. And it's kind of like, the thing is that I would rather, and I said to Joe, she's like, we need to pump each other up a little more. And I think we do. I think we put each other down a little bit too much, all in kind of a snarky, way that we're joking amongst each other. But I guess it's hard to, to put our finger on it. But it's at the same time, I said to Joe, to me, it's more important to bond with you guys. I mean, to me, that's what it's all about, is bonding with our community, not with, each other, which we already know each other, So to me, that's the most important part. But anyways, Joe will be on Pucking Crazy with Ron Romanelli and Tony Brown today. So be sure to check that out. But let's get right into some betting tool action for today. So yesterday, when we looked at the players and the injuries, they did not update. And I'm not showing them today updating either. So we'll have to talk to Jared in Australia. I talked to him this morning about this, but I'm not seeing any recent updates on these injuries. So something is off on there. It will be fixed. You'll notice, it's like updating overnight, but it's not updating since then. But, we'll get to the bottom of it. But let's just get to these betting tools, and we will get to some picks. So the way that on the 7 free picks in just 5 minutes, if you've ever watched that show, which hopefully you have. I know thousands of people watch it every day. I don't know if it's the same person watching it 8,000 times or if it's different people, watching it each time. But the thing is that I only use the betting tools on that show, and I know it's wildly popular. So I'm going to show you guys pretty much what we're going to do today. Is I'm just going to walk you through how I get to those picks on the 7 free picks in just 5 minutes. And I think that will be a good start because everyone knows those picks are absolutely on fire. Absolutely on fire. So we'll get to it, though. So the first thing that I do is in the morning. Oh, that didn't help, right? There we go. That was basically what you guys just saw. There was the thing that I'm able to broadcast Twitter. So here's the home for Sports Chat Place, and here's the home for Pick Dogs. And I actually, when I do the 7 free picks in just 5 minutes, I always start off on the Pick Dogs page. The Pick Dogs page is a lot more simpler. And on the 7 free picks, I'm just trying to get 7 picks out to you guys using the betting tools. That really is what the show is, right? It's just 7 picks. I do it in 5 minutes, and it's just using the betting tool. So that's what I try and do, is keep it that simple, okay? So I find the simplest way to do this, and the way that I do it is I go to Pick Dogs, and I just click on Dog Streaks. This is the first thing that I do. And this will tell you which streaks really come into play today and which ones really are worth betting as far as the odds go. So it kind of, even though there's not a lot of information here, there's not a ton of substance to it, these streaks are definitely there and definitely exist. And, you know, the odds are all here for me. Who they're playing is here. Kind of all the information that I need to do that 7 free picks in just 5 minutes, right, is all right here at my fingertips. So I'll go through it and I'll start here, you know, and the Detroit Pistons covering the spread as underdogs versus the Eastern Conference, 15 in a row, right? I mean, you guys love hearing when I do that on the 7 free picks in just 5 minutes. This has happened 15 times in a row. Of course, in the link, I'm sorry I didn't point this out before, but in the description of this video, there's a link to take you to the Sports Chat Place betting tools as well as to the Pick Dogs betting tools. Right now, we're on the Pick Dogs betting tools. And like I said, those of you joining late, I just clicked on Dog Streaks. That's all I've done here. So that's where we're at here. And if you look through the Maple Leafs plus a goal and a half, this is hit 7 times in a row, but it's minus 195. So that's not something I'm going to talk about on the show. Here's the Montreal Canadiens plus 1.5 is plus 135 against the Panthers. I think I gave this one out. The Canadiens have covered the puck line as underdogs 6 in a row. I probably said this on the show. All I did was write it down on my card, and then I read it to you guys. So this is how I get to my 7 free picks in just 5 minutes. Just by doing this. If it's a lighter card like today, and I don't find, I'm not going to find all 7 picks here. That's for sure. But you can see there's usually good things to choose from here. See, like this Rangers plus 1.5 minus 186. I'm not going to pick that. So here's the Rangers wins as underdogs. So somebody asked me in the comments, they said, hey, the Rangers aren't puck line this. I said, yeah, because I didn't. I gave it out the Rangers, and I even said wins as underdogs. I didn't say puck line dogs. I said wins as underdogs on the 7 free picks. So the thing is that we do the 7 free picks. I read them off to you, but at the same time, this information is available to you. So all I'm doing is giving you a small, tiny segment. I'm doing 7 picks. You can see on this page right here alone, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 12 picks on this page alone. We haven't even gotten to the Sports Chat version of it. So when you look at the Pick Dogs one, this is only dog streaks. But when you go to the Sports Chat one, that's a good suggestion. I'm going to copy this actually. I'm going to show this on the broadcast, and maybe the guys in Australia will see this. I like it. We don't have any tools for baseball for preseason, but we will for the regular season. You can already see them in place. So when we look at the dog streaks here, though, and then, so it's only dogs, and that's why it says dog. But if you go to sportschatplace.com, it doesn't have its own tab across the top because there's way more tools at Sports Chat Place than there are at Pick Dogs. There's definitely a lot more here on the Sports Chat Place page. So wow, 1890. FA Cup final, Blackburn defeated Sheffield 6-1 at Kennington Oval, the highest score in FA Cup final. Anyways, going back here, under here it's tools and streaks, and here it's not just underdogs, it's favorites and underdogs, so there's way more of them. You see how many there are? And that's why it's separated by sport. For right now, we just have NBA, MLB, and NHL. So you can see for the regular MLB, here's for Thursday, April 7th. This is for opening day. We got a lot of stuff going on. In baseball, there's always a ton of trends. It's a very numbers game. But you see that? Right out of the gate. We just don't have the odds here yet because the odds haven't come out. But we look at, here's today's NBA card. So not including just the underdogs like pick dogs had. Here we're looking at favorites and underdogs. So like here's one I would never give out on the show, right? Dallas Mavericks wins as favorites against the Western Conference, minus 715. I would never give that out. I would never even give this out. Chicago Bulls wins as road favorites on the second leg of a back-to-back, minus 162. Or the Nets, home favorites against the Pistons, minus 1,000. You just have to tread your way through it. Here's the Bucks. This line has moved. Wins against the Eastern Conference, 6 in a row. So one of the questions I've had in the past, what does the snowflake mean? And what does the fire mean? The snowflake just means that it's a cold streak, and the fire means that it's a hot streak. So like I said, when I do the 7 free picks in just 5 minutes, this is really the first place that I look, is the streaks, because it's easy, and it's basic. And I'll tell you what, it has been working like no one's business. I mean, I think anybody out there, if you've been betting all of the 7 free picks in just 5 minutes and nothing else, you guys know, straight money. Straight money. We'll move on. I think we could look at the... So one of the things that I saw in here when I was looking at the NHL was period predictions. First period. Period 1 wins following an overtime win. That's tomorrow. Period 1 wins at Florida, Montreal, or Panthers, 4 in a row. Toronto Maple Leafs, period 1 wins as underdogs following a win. Minnesota Wild, period 1 wins following an overtime win. But the better source for periods is in the standings. You just go to NHL. And here's period stats right here. So we're just going to have to eliminate a few columns here. Just to make it fit. And this makes it a little easier. First period, who's the fastest starter? And then here, who's the best closer? The third period. Okay, so period 1, the fastest starters in the Atlantic is Toronto. The slowest is Montreal. You guys see that? And then if you go by the third period, the best closers are Florida. And the worst closers are Ottawa. So if you see Ottawa has a lead or something and the other team's going to be pressing hard, this is the place to look. Like if you're in the second period and you're going to bet the third period, you can come right over here to the standings and take a look at this. It's very interesting. Look at the Carolina Hurricane, 54.5% of the time in the third period. But in the first period, 42%. And then the Flyers, just 22% in the third period. The Avalanche, not even 50% of the time, right? I mean, look at most of these, not even 50%. Because I guess if it's a draw, then it doesn't count towards the total. These are just wins. So that's how you get your period. So if we look at some of the NHL games today, and once again, it takes me off of there. I'm just looking for a... If we look at the NHL schedule for today, I have all your stuff. Anybody got a lock parlay? I'm going to guess the answer is going to be no to that. But if you have one, let me know. I'll take it. So if we look at some of these games, so come back. So Toronto is playing Boston. So Toronto, better starters than Boston and better closers. Let's see. Rangers again, but not enough to really set anything off. Rangers, terrible starters, are playing the Penguins, who are also terrible starters, and neither of these teams are closers. So I'd stay away from period betting on that game. Islanders, Lumberjacks. Islanders, really slow starters. Where's Columbus? Really slow starters. Wow, all these teams are just kind of match up well here. Montreal versus Florida. Well, we just saw Montreal. So we know. So here we go. Montreal versus Florida. So I'd bet Florida first period and third period. There's a sizable differential there. But you can see this. You can just go through the entire schedule yourself and look at these things. Anyways, I got to wrap this up because Puck and Crazy is on the way. So there's two different tools that we've looked at. We've kind of geared towards NHL today and also looked at some streaks. Let's just do one more tool just to say we did 3. And what the heck? We'll just go to we'll just go to the angles. We normally look at the NBA when we do angles. We don't have NHL angles, so that's why we only go to NBA. We just don't have them. So you can see most of the angles have leveled out. So we'll go just to the... let's stick to the NHL. Go to the player props. See here in the NHL, the injuries updated 10 minutes ago. But in the NBA, maybe they updated too. No, it's 8 hours in the NBA. I'm not sure why that is. Strange. Because the NHL, you can see it's 10 minutes ago. 11 minutes ago. All right. Let's go to the props. 80% NHL props. I don't know any of these guys. Joe Madden knows them all. Nothing in the last 10 games that's hit at 80%. Here we go. This is one of her guys. Mitch Marner. Shots on goal. Over 2.5. We'll take that against the Boston Bruins. But anyways, you guys can mess around with these tools yourself. The link is in the description. There's tons and tons of bets. I give out 7 free picks in just 5 minutes. We could probably do 700 bets in 500 minutes if we really wanted to, just using the betting tools. But hopefully you guys are using them, and we have a lot more updates on the way. I know you're going to love them, and hopefully I'm here to show you on this show within the next few days. But I'll be back tomorrow, and a lot of NBA on the card. It should be a lot of fun here on the Betting Tool Show. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for using the betting tools, and thank you for your feedback. Most importantly, thank you for being you. I don't know why I said that. Aloha.